Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a special guest here with me.
Hello.
This is TK, my husband. We had put a post up a few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, asking that you send in your questions that you had for us. So this is a video answering the questions that you sent in. I put that question out on Instagram and I put it out on the community section of YouTube. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, first question is, how old are we?
I want to be 25.
Okay, I actually forgot how old I am.
You're 21.
21?
Yeah.
21? No, I'm not 21. I am 27. Gosh.
Yeah, so am I. Enhanced.
How old are you, TK?
I'm 28.
Amen. How did you and TK meet? We kind of knew the same people and we went to the same kind of church events. So I guess I knew him from there, from church. That's how we met.
Yep. Hello, mate.
We've got a little visitor here as well. Say hello. Hi. Okay. So far, what has been the hardest and the easiest part in the transition to the country? So let's start with the hardest part first.
Well, the hardest bit, it depends, isn't it, on the individual, but the hardest for us was probably the packing of the house and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like packing.
Yeah, getting rid of all the junk. Searching actually, believe it or not, wasn't actually that hard.
No.
It was there ready. It's just we were just ready at the right time, I guess. Obviously, it's not the same for everyone, right? So
Yeah, that's true. What was the easiest part of the transition? The easiest part for me was, or is, because we're still transitioning, moving.
yeah,
Because in my heart, I was already gone. Like, before we physically moved, I had already moved in my heart or in my mind. I wasn't there, if you know what I mean. What inspired you to move to the country? Please share your testimony.
well, we knew we had to get to the country because that's what God wants. He wants his people to be in a place where, you know, somewhere where they can hear nature and hear his voice more clearly. And I believe there's no doubt in my mind that anyone can argue against that, to say, yeah, well, I can still hear as clearly as I would in nature as I would in a city. That's just the impossibility. I mean, where we lived before, couldn't even read a book without hearing a siren or someone shouting. It was just awful.
Yeah, we used to hear people going past, swearing.
At all manner of hours.
Yeah, it was pretty bad where we were. We were in the heart of it.
I mean, not so much London, but it was, I mean, yeah, it was a bit noisy.
A bit. It was very noisy. Have you weaned from this system and how are you practicing self-sustainability? Oh. How have you weaned from the system and how are you practicing self-sustainability?
We have a borehole, so I guess we don't have any government pipes or government water, so I guess that's a form of weaning. We've still got electricity though, from the grid. Yeah, I guess it's all in stages, right? Considering solar's not cheap.
It isn't.
And you got to look at all the other batteries as well. And yeah, so the actual initial cost of solar is generally not cheap. You know, yeah, and we'll have to generate funds for that.
I would like to know how the search for where you're at now happened.
We looked on the estate agent, didn't we?
Yeah, we were looking on Facebook markets, estate agents like Rightmove, and what's the other websites we were looking on?
Zoopla.
Yeah, Zoopla, and there's a few actually.
On the market. Yeah, that one as well.
Yeah, we're looking in quite a few places actually. How did you budget?
Well, we budgeted based on what we could afford, and then the rest, obviously, we had to have faith that God would kind of provide the rest, really.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we're here simply because I think part and parcel anyway of budgeting is, especially righteous budgeting as well, you must be able to have some form of faith that God will be able to meet some of the bills, because if we were to count the cost of everything, that's all well and good, but then, you know, sometimes when you try to use too much logic, if that's even a phrase, where you try to reason out things, you know, where God can intervene, you know, because God doesn't have limited funds to provide for us, right? So I guess.
Yeah, if it's God's will, it's God's bill. What was your time frame of getting your farm? We're building a farm, but we don't have it established yet. But we're working towards that. So maybe at a later date we might be able to answer that question. But do we have a time frame for that?
It's a big garden. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. What things do you wish you would have known before, and things you learned along the way?
Well, I wish I knew that we don't have to have all the equipment to be able to at least cultivate the soil and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got acres of land, or maybe if you've got a bit more than just a small garden, you know, where you might need a rotavator or something like that. It can be a bit tricky to be able to buy that machine outright simply because it costs so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's definitely one thing I would have thought about as well. And it's one of those ones where we wouldn't have known or actually in fact appreciated where we are had we just relied on the estate agent's photos or pictures rather. Simply because us being here, right, we can actually physically see it and actually look and plan, you know, where we want to grow certain things and stuff like that.
What advice would you give to others wanting to make a similar journey?
Pack your house.
Pack and pray without delay. Start packing. Even if you haven't found a place yet, pack like you have somewhere to go already.
Yep. And we can't advise for you to hand in your notice. No, we can advise for you not to hand in your notice. It's an individual thing. Yep. God will tell you directly when to hand in your notice, because some people actually won't even do anything lest they have that kind of time pressure, right? Although we do generally have it anyway, but obviously from where we were previously, we had a 1 month notice, so it was quite flexible in that sense. Yeah. While if you, for example, if you have a mortgage or it's on the market and you're selling, it's not that easy to just up and sell. But then again, God can open doors where you can sell a house and complete the sale and exchange contracts and all that kind of stuff in a matter of 2 weeks or a week. I don't know. You know, God always makes ways somehow, right? When He hears the voice of His saints. So
yeah,
it has to be done by faith, man. It can't be done by reason or logic. I mean, you can reason your way out of anything, actually, but when it's done by faith, man, nothing can move you, and there's no way I'll ever go back. And I think when we found the house anyway, we just thought, this is it for us. Even if the dwelling is small, I mean, if it's just 3 beds, whatever, it doesn't matter. And if it means that we have to downsize as well, actually,
we were willing to do that because we got to a point where we had enough of city living, and we were looking forward to the promises and the blessings that God had, said that He had in store for us. Hi, Kizzie, were you raised SDA? I was raised kind of SDA. I don't know how else to answer that question. Well, based on what we know now, I wouldn't say that I was like 100% SDA. I mean, would you?
In terms of present truth, like what we know now,
Yeah.
I believe we were brought up with what our parents knew at that time, right? Obviously we can't hold that down to them. Now that we're adults, obviously we know more, and if you know better, we also need to do better.
Do better. How did you learn about country living, and how did you and your husband decide to step out in faith as a couple?
We read Adventist Home.
Yeah.
And every Adventist should have that book, honestly.
Yeah.
Every true Adventist, that is, anyway.
We started reading it when we were still dating, actually. This was before we even got married.
Yeah.
So, we had a long distance relationship, so we'd read together over the phone. like a chapter every day or every week, or come back together on the phone to discuss what we read, stuff like that. So we were reading that, that and Country Living, the book called Country Living, which we read shortly after we finished the Adventist Home.
Yeah, I was convinced anyway that we have to do it, and actually as well, from a prophetic point of view, when the issue of buying and selling will be a serious one, boy, people are gonna really, really wish they were growing their own food. Actually, think of it. Look at the whole pandemic that's taking place now.
Yeah.
People couldn't even get food that they normally rely on. Like the rice was gone, the bread was gone. What else? The pasta was gone. All these different essentials that people need, right, from a supermarket, they were all gone. And that kind of security there, and there's no security in that, actually, to be fair. It's not even like a security in a supermarket. There's no security in that. But here we know we have to deal with birds and deers and rabbits, and we can find tricky ways that we can get around that. But when you have the money, but yet you can't find the food, then
it's a different story.
It's a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Were there moments or times that you felt discouraged? Yes. Plenty of those times. Especially last year, during 2019, when after having Jeremiah, the urgency just became more and more intense for us to move to the country.
Yeah.
To a point where I just started to feel uneasy living where we were at that time.
And the noise didn't help, especially when we woke them up as well. It's like 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. rather. Yeah,
it was really annoying.
Oh.
Especially all night. You're trying to get the baby to sleep. He finally gets to sleep, and then you have this...
some hideous noise comes into the house.
Yeah.
But I mean, preparation anyway. Praying and doing. So there was no way that we were going to pray, and then an estate agent will call us. Bearing in mind that we'd even tell them that we're interested, but they call us, a random estate agent, by the way, saying, oh, by the way, there's a house for you, this or that. For us, I don't believe that was what would have happened to us. Obviously it happens to other people, maybe. But for us, no chance. We had to at least move.
Yeah.
Call people up and actually
book
visit
viewings.
Book viewings, yeah. Even if you don't have the money, just book the viewing, man.
Yep.
Sometimes actually what you might find out is the estate agent might slip their tongue. So they'll say, oh, well, so this house is on the market, But if you're looking for another one more rural, I do have something in the pipeline. It's not on the market yet, but hopefully I can speak to the landlord and we can pass by it after the viewing. And stuff like that happens all the time, right? It's just a matter of you being there at the right time. Now, you're not going to get that information on a laptop.
No.
It's something that you get physically when you're there.
Yeah. What was your motivation and encouragement in scripture, prayer, and just fixating my mind on actually country living? So like we started to practice on how to make our own soaps, even started making our own lotions. When we started downsizing, that really encouraged us that, you know, we were actively doing something to progress this move. What about your extended family? Are they also SDAs, and have they been an encouragement to you both? My family has been a huge encouragement because my parents also made the move. There were some family members that didn't see or quite get why.
You want to move to the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. It was quite strange that we would move out here as a young couple with a baby, what seems to be in the middle of nowhere and essentially cut off from society if we're not living in the city, I mean.
But you know what? They really did change their tune when this pandemic happened. Because when they realised, oh, hang on a minute, we have to stay indoors all day. It wasn't nice.
No.
You know? And I don't believe that God would want that for anybody. To be stuck indoors where they don't have fresh air. They're literally locked down. It's like prison, effectively, but in your own house.
Things we take for granted.
Yeah. Like fresh air, you know, where you can walk freely.
Yeah.
In the garden, Jeremiah is running around, you know, no issues, nothing like that he's going to get hit by a car.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was quite upsetting to feel that, you know, you have family and friends that, you know, are not able to do the same things or have as much freedom. And we try to share as much as we possibly can and encourage others to, you know, to make the same move, because there's so many benefits to reap from it. You have nothing to lose from moving to the country.
no.
But you have everything to gain.
Yep.
It wasn't like, oh, we're here and, you know, they're over there, but at least we're living here. No, we actually felt the pain of you know, of our family and friends that haven't moved to the country. We're trying to live it as best as we can so that it will encourage others to do the same, because it's what God really wants for us.
Yeah, man. We always have an open door. And there's nowhere that we can say,
Yeah.
don't come, or we can't tell you the address.
Yes.
Of course, obviously.
We didn't come here to hide.
No.
You can't hide anywhere. In this day and age, no, you can't.
There's no space that you can hide.
No.
And even then, who are you hiding from?
Exactly. Who are we hiding from?
You know, there's different challenges everywhere you go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even if you move so rural, the spiders will find you, the flies will find you, the mice maybe might find you, you know, and especially if you have an illegal accommodation in the middle of nowhere, the government will definitely find you.
Yeah.
You know, and there's satellites now everywhere, there's phone signals, and there's all these different things, really and truly.
Yeah, tracking on your phone. There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
So country living, it's not an escape route for us to hide from something.
No.
Because we can't hide from anything.
No, but it's an escape from the lifestyle of a city.
Yeah.
In which we can grow your own produce and your own fruits and vegetables, right? That you can eat, that you can sell, that you can give to others as well, help the needy, help the poor. I mean, you know, it's not all about dollars and cents, right?
And it's not all about me.
It's not about me. No way, right? You know, where you wake up in the morning and all you're hearing is birds.
That's so peaceful.
Yeah, man.
It's so refreshing. And yeah, it's guys, you need to move. You really do.
Yep.
To experience what we've been experiencing.
Move with faith.
Yeah. So someone asked, how do we get special social services like hospital services and stuff like that while country living?
Easy, just call them.
We didn't have a problem. Last month we had a bit of an emergency and we needed the ambulance to come, and they came in good time, to be honest.
Yeah, and they came faster than they would have.
In where we were before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a problem. We are not too far in the country that it's far from everything. So like far from hospitals,
Yeah.
far from, I don't know, what other services, like police services, fire services.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what sense it would make if your country home is burning down because of an accident.
Actually, if the house was on fire,
Yeah.
I would say actually that within a radius of at least 5 miles, they'll be able to see the fire,
Yeah.
and they'll be able to pinpoint and know, okay,
Where
there's
it
a
is.
family over there, or there is a house over there, and they'll actually even call up to say, oh yeah, is everything okay? You
Yeah.
know, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And that's what you get really, where obviously people are obviously in your business, but you know, if they see something out of place or out of line, so for example they hear quite a lot of noise going around there, like a lot of movement of cars, they'll obviously actually call you, be like, yeah, so like what's going on over there? We're seeing some strange cars.
Yeah.
Do you know what they are? You know, and that kind of community service where, you know, like they let you do whatever you want to do in your own space.
Yeah.
But they still kind of have like that watchful eye. Now, if we were to have a fire in our house, or in our flat rather, in our old house, no one would say anything actually.
No.
If the fire alarm was to go off,
it will be a while before anyone realizes anything.
Yeah.
The way it was built.
Yeah. I remember actually when the fire alarm went off, it was like a high-rise, a block of flats, right? A fire alarm went off, and no one
moved.
Hardly anyone actually. Anyone's even asked.
We
actually
looked
that
out
they
the
had a fire.
door. There was no one panicking coming out of their home.
Nothing.
No one moved.
No one moved. They did nothing. They just kept it as it is. 'Cause
Yep.
That's just how it is, right?
Yeah. So we have no problems with social services.
Yeah. The local.
They're not far away.
Yeah.
They're not so far away that they won't be able to get here in good time. They can get here within 10 minutes.
Yeah. So the police station, probably. I don't know why we need a police station anyway. But yeah, they can come within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes. The local A&E, or kind of ER rather, for the American folks, is probably 15-minute, 20-minute drive.
Yeah. The next town is 20 minutes.
Yeah. So 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all those other kind of health, social services, they are around.
So we're not far that no one can come to us or visit.
Yeah.
And we're not
too close that we
close.
can hear.
Yeah.
We can hear you talk about how, you know.
But we can hear our neighbours' music. We can't hear anything.
No.
And they can't hear us. Not that we make noise anyway, but.
And even if we do, at least we can, right? It'll be Holy Ghost knows.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to stop it here for now. I have to put Jeremiah to bed. He's fallen asleep while we were making this. There are so many questions. Thank you for sending your questions in. We're going to have to do a part 2 of answering the questions that you all sent in. We want to answer it as best as we can. So thank you for tuning in. We hope we answered the questions so far to the best of our ability. Do you have anything to say or add?
God bless you.
God bless you. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Au revoir.